Hi, I'm Amber,
I'm Melissa.
and you're listening to the AM Podcast. Welcome to the first episode of the year. We hope everyone had a great new year, and we thought this week it would be fitting to do keeping up with K-pop. So let's just jump into it. What came out this week, we're recording on the 16th of January, is that GOT7 is leaving JYP, and they are going their separate ways, but they will always be GOT7, and I'm a little confused by some of it because some sources are like they're trying to stay together, but they're also going to their own separate agencies or going to go do their own thing. So yeah, but Melissa, what did you think about this when you heard it?
Um, it's always sad when you hear about groups, about to disband or disbanding. Although they're not really disbanding, which is weird. I don't know, which is why I'm also confused.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the fact that they're not going to be together as GOT7, like under the same agency, is the part I guess that's sad. And it's also sad because this was the year that I actually started to like really get into them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not this year. We're in 2021 now. So in 2020 was the year that I really started to like really get into their music. Because before, I had heard about them, but nothing was really like really stood out for me. But I don't know, something about their last couple of comebacks. I was like, ooh, bro, have I been sleeping on them? I don't know. And now they're breaking up. I'm like, oh, okay, of course. That always happens with like the older groups. Like I don't really know anything about them, and then I'll start getting into them, and then like one of them goes off to military. You're like, I don't know. I guess it's just had the age that they're in and the age that we're in. It's to be expected. But anyways, and I saw the I think it was yesterday actually. They came out with a like a 7-year. It was their 7-year anniversary of them being a group. I think yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out a anniversary video, and it was really emotional. And yeah, I don't know. I wish them the best. And I hope that they do come back together to create another album or to create music. It's just that with these like breaking up but not really breaking up things that these groups do, is like you never know if they're going to be on hiatus or whatever for like 10 years. So that's like the unknown part is kind of um sad. But I'm glad that and hopefully they'll have more freedom to do what they want to do, I guess. Because I read online that because I'd heard things about JYP, I guess, in general, but apparently they didn't have like freedom to do things, and like they were like being controlled, and I don't know. I read a lot of stuff, so hopefully they have the freedom to do the type of music, I guess, that they want to do, or the type of work that they want to do. But yeah.
So just like you, I wish them the best. But it's funny you mentioned them being able to do what they want to do. I've noticed, I guess over the past couple of days, people have been putting out videos on YouTube of how like JYP artists weren't getting treated right or weren't able to put
Mm-hmm.
out music like they wanted to. So it's interesting that GOT7 is leaving, and it's crazy because GOT7 was one of the guy groups that I really like when I first got into K-pop. So it's crazy to think that they're not going to be GOT7 anymore. Technically they will be, but like they're not. So I don't know. And I was wondering if this is like one of those crazy things that we've seen when we were looking at like the other, like when we did our second generation and first generation K-pop group review or whatever, when we were diving to all the generations. I was wondering if this is going to be like an indefinite hiatus kind of thing, where it's like they never fully disband, but they're just like not doing things together. I I was also I was shocked by it, but I wasn't, because I've heard rumors of them having issues. I don't know. Just JYP as a company, like you mentioned, like there's just issues with them sometimes. So I'm like shocked but not shocked. But yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, so moving on. Photos are circulating online that appear to show a member of the K-pop group Momoland, Nancy, undressing, but according to her company, they were manipulated before being circulated on the internet without her knowledge. People are saying that it was allegedly taken by a staff member, maybe during the 2019 Asian Artist Awards in Vietnam, where Nancy was the MC. According to some research that we were doing, apparently this is just like an issue in South Korea right now. So yeah, I'm guessing, like, for me, not guessing, but for me, it's this is sickening on like all levels because I feel like women shouldn't have to worry about being recorded when they're trying on clothes or doing anything, and let alone be a K-pop star just trying to do her job. And her company, I feel like, knowing that this stuff kind of happens, I feel like her company could have done a lot more just to make sure everything was copacetic where she was changing or when she was doing anything. So I think that it's messed up, and I would hate to go through it, and it sucks that she's going through it because not only is she a woman, but she's also a public figure. So like everyone's now, I don't know if people went to go like find the photos, or but people just know about the incident. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of embarrassing. Embarrassing, but like not in like a it was her fault kind of way. It's just like you don't want people to see that kind of thing. So yeah. What do you think, Melissa?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I couldn't even imagine what she's probably feeling right now. And I remember when the news, I guess, about this first broke out, apparently there were people that were actually creating fake accounts on Twitter that were created just to spread the pictures. I mean, it was,
That's
I don't know,
sick.
it's yeah, it's sick. And I don't know, and I hope that, I don't know, because, with these things, the internet, you never know who's the actual source. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I don't know, I hope that they are able to sort of take some sort of legal action against, I don't know, if they ever find the culprit who took the photos and spread them. But I don't know, I just feel, I don't know, she must feel like, I don't know. I don't even know how she would feel. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much to say other than, I mean, this whole thing is just sickening. I don't know. And the fact that people are spreading it, just, I think it, because she's a public figure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I don't think, like, if this was me, I feel like I don't know if I would feel safe, period, like just going to an award show or going somewhere. I would just be like, is it okay for me to do this? Like, have you checked the room for cameras? Like, can I trust the people around me? So
Oh yeah, of course. She's probably like really paranoid now.
yeah, I totally would be. But, moving on from that, we have Irene's apology letter. Irene, she like issued another apology for how she acted back in October, with the whole incident with her stylist. And we briefly discussed this in the last episode. And then when this was like news, we discussed it in another episode. So it's interesting that this is all coming back. Um, what did you think, Melissa?
Um, well, with this apology letter, I mean, I don't even remember that she had apologized. I think, did she apologize the first after the first time?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first, okay, because this was the first like official one. Maybe I just, because I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think too much about it personally. I mean, cause, I don't know. I was confused as to why it was being brought up again, I guess. But um it definitely felt, I don't know, it felt like it was something that was for the fans. And I think she put it out because people were still sort of criticizing her character just in general, even though she, I guess, apologized for the incident in the past. It seemed very heartfelt. She used her government name in it, I didn't even realize, even though I'm like a fan of Red Velvet, I didn't even know what her government name was. And I was like, who is this person that she's talking about that she wants to be like a better or whatever? Else if it was she was talking about herself. So I was like, oh, okay. So she's really trying to like show that this is like very heartfelt. She's like referencing not her stage name, but her government name. Um, One thing that I did think was interesting in the letter was that she had said something. Basically, she had said that she didn't realize that how she was communicating with others was negatively affecting, could have negatively affected those around her. So I thought that was interesting because she mentioned, she's been an idol since 2009, and so it's interesting how I guess it was interesting to kind of see from her perspective how she's kind of like in this her own like bubble essentially, and because I guess she's a celebrity and like and how she wasn't really like attuned to the fact that of like her effect on like regular people. So I thought that was interesting. um but I mean, I guess overall, I guess as a closing statement for my thoughts, this seemed like a very heartfelt apology, and you know um good luck to her in the future, and hopefully she took this experience as a lesson learned.
Yeah, I agree. I also think it's weird that well, I mean, it's weird, but it's not that she's still apologizing now. Just like, I don't know,
Yeah.
for me, I feel like it happened last year, and even though people are still criticizing her for it, they're going to do that regardless. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I just kind of would have left it in the past instead of saying something again, just because I feel like maybe if I didn't hear about this news before as like a person that may like them or just like a K-pop fan in general, I would have gone to look at what happened. And so it's kind of like rehashing the whole incident all over again. But I do feel like this is like for her supporters, her fans, kind of like what you said. And part of me felt like it was like reflective, like it's the new year
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, I know I've probably disappointed you guys, like all of this, like just negative emotions that she probably got from negative emotions and like negative feedback from what happened. And I think she's just kind of like trying to clear the air, because I feel like in the SM concert that they had for New Year's, wasn't that the first time Red Velvet performed in a while together?
I think so. That was the first time since since Wendy's accident that they performed. But just in general, I think you're right. That I don't think they had performed like anywhere really in a while.
Yeah. So I was wondering if like because now they're kind of back in the spotlight, it's like people,
Mm.
it's coming about again.
You know what else I was thinking? I just thought of this. Like, I wonder if they must be coming back soon, and it's also probably why she wanted to clear the air.
That's the next thing I was gonna say, because we was on the same track. I agree. I feel like a comeback is on the horizon. I don't know when, but I feel like it's coming soon. So
Hmm.
yeah, but
See, now it doesn't feel as heartfelt anymore. No. I mean, maybe it is, but now it kind of feels like a PR thing. But anyways, but yeah.
honestly, when I saw it, I kind of felt that way. But I also don't want to take everything that she said as a PR thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to celebrities in general, it's kind of hard to figure out what they're sincere about and how much is like, oh, we need to clean this up. We got to do this. So, we gotta clean up the image. So I don't know. There has to be like some sort of balance there, but who knows? Um, do you have anything else to say?
Nope. Okay.
So next item, it's more exciting, happy, putting the negativity behind, moving on to something positive. Shiny is coming back. They announced it at the SM Town Live Culture Humanity New Year's Eve concert. And I'm excited. How about you, Melissa?
I'm very excited, especially with okay. I mean, over the past like year or so, I've become a really big Taemin fan in general. Um, but I think it was even when I first kind of really got into K-pop a few years ago. Um, it was I feel like it was their most recent comeback. I can't remember what like album or what songs. Well, I know what songs are out, but anyways, I think it was like it must have been a comeback that they had done prior to two of the members going to the military.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, whatever their last comeback was before they like went to the military, that's when I started really getting into Shiny and like getting into like going back and watching like their previous comebacks. And so I'm really excited that they are coming back this year. I feel like I don't know, it feels almost nostalgic, but I wasn't even with them from the beginning. But I don't know, I'm just excited because I love their music. I loved them as like performers from at least from what I've seen. And yeah, I was very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I guess I mentioned that before. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see them. They are coming back next month, so I'll probably have more to
Oh.
say other than I'm excited. I mean, I guess I'm also curious about like the sound that they're going to go for because
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't know these days. Everyone's kind of switching it up, and with everything that's happened, you kind of know you don't know what's gonna come at you with some of these artists sometimes. So I'm excited for that. I hope it goes well. We'll probably talk about it next month. So yeah, look out for that. Okay, so those are all the news items that we had that we wanted to talk about. So we're gonna move on to like the debuts, the comebacks, and new releases. Starting out with Treasure. We talked about them. I can't remember what episode it was, but we talked about them, and I remember looking forward to hearing what else they're gonna come out with because I think back then they only had like 2 songs. So
Mm-hmm.
they came back with like a whole album, and it's called The First Step Treasure Effect, which released on January 11th of this year. Well, this year. But yeah, okay. Anyways, Melissa, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was a good, solid album. There was a good mixture of different types of genres on there. I mean, it was still mostly like pop, but they threw some different types of genres in there. My favorite songs, I really liked Slow Motion, and I feel like I may have talked about last time, but maybe I didn't talk about but I really liked those are the two that I really liked. I'm not usually an EDM person, but there's something about I Love You
Mm-hmm.
that was really interesting. It was like because it was like EDM in some parts, and then it was like rap, and then it was like pop, and then it was like back to the EDM. I was like, this is a roller coaster, but I like it. And so it was really interesting. And when Orange came on, when I tell you, I thought that like it skipped to like another artist. Like I thought it skipped to another artist when that song came on because it was like a random like 90s R&B like beginning. I was like, is this the same album? And it was, and it was good. So I feel like they had a good range of different songs on here and different genres on here. So they're a very diverse group, and I liked it. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. And yeah,
I agree with
what
you.
about you?
I agree. Um, it was a diverse album. I was listening to it and I was like, I don't really have anything bad to say about this. Like, it was
Yeah.
a good, solid album. Like, I would listen to all of the songs on there and I probably wouldn't skip it because sometimes I skip through some songs because I'm just like, nope, this is not for me. But I didn't feel like that was, so I was really happy with that. I did like Be With Me. It had like this nice groove to it. I can't explain it. You kind of gotta listen to it, but I was vibing and it played, and I was like, ooh. And I often listen to these on shuffle, so when it came on, I kind of
Oh.
just stopped and was like, oh wow, this is a good song. So yeah, that's what I thought about it. I'm also looking forward to seeing what else they come out with because I know this was like a highly anticipated group. So
Mm-hmm.
um, as far as I can see, they're on the right track and they can, keep it moving. I I have no problem with that because they're good. Um our next artist is MCND, which came out with their mini album MCND Age that was released on January 8th. It was a good album. um it's kind of crazy because like I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about this group I thought they were gonna be like some crazy rock band and not really like a like just by the name, not seeing them but like by the name I was like being a rock band. Then I saw them, I was like, oh, you guys are a K-pop group. And then I listened to the music. They're pretty dope. I think they're good. I don't know what's up with some of these groups that are coming out, but like, I was at first I was worried like we had mentioned before, like maybe we're in that old K-pop group. But I'm kind of digging some of these newer groups because they have like a different sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them. I liked Louder. It was catchy and had like really good vocals in my opinion. I think the group has good vocal. I just like them, period. Okay. But that song really had me like, oh, okay, I like it. So what did you think, Melissa?
Same. I really like this group. Like you said, because we're old. We're getting older. We're basically old. Some of these new groups, I'm like, I don't know if I can like get into them. I don't know if I can like relate to the music, but I really do like. I like this group when I first, because I feel like we talked about. I don't know if we talked about them before, but I really like this group. I think they're pretty trendy, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm like, But so this album for me, it was a good album. I felt like it's listening to the songs, it felt like a very trendy album too. I don't know. I feel like, well, anyways, my favorite songs were Louder and Crush. And I don't know why I didn't know this before, but I learned that their name stands for Music Creates New Dreams. I never, and I don't know why I never thought. Well, because sometimes with these groups, with their, even though their names are like acronyms, it doesn't really mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I never wanted to even like search to find out what it may have meant. But um, yeah, I liked it. It was good. I feel like I'm not saying like too much about it, but I did. Well, I also did see the music video for Crush, and I really like that they have a lot of high energy, and their choreography is really good. I did wanted to. I just wanted to say that as well.
So the next group we're going to talk about is G Idol. They released their I Burn EP on January 11th, which was like Monday, with their title track Hua. I guess that's how you say it, Hua. Melissa, what were your thoughts?
The album itself, I thought was very cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
It has a very. I feel like with G Idol, they're a little bit. They've always been a bit dramatic for me,
Mm-hmm.
anyways. Ever since they first came out, and so this album was no different, in my opinion. It was fairly dramatic with like the types of sounds that they used in the songs, but it all like blended together. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I felt like because all the songs were a little bit similar to one another, um, that's what sort of made it cohesive for me. But overall, I liked it. I liked Hua. Hua was good. When I saw the music video, I thought the video was very well produced. And yeah, and I think that song was probably my favorite song. I don't know if it's because I saw the video with it too. It was that song and no, I think at the moment I think that's the only song that I can think of that I really liked. But there weren't any songs on there that I didn't, you know, dislike. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
I agree with you. There wasn't any songs I disliked either. I feel like with a lot of with a lot of the artists we've talked about, like I didn't really dislike anything on their albums or EPs. Um, they are a bit dramatic, but I that's something I love about them, and
Mm.
I don't know, it just fits them. I guess it would fit them because that's their concept. But anyway, I really liked it. My favorite songs were Moon and Dahlia. Um, I really love the chorus in Dahlia, but Moon, I don't know. I just like the vibe of it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I like this entire album, like I mentioned before, and I would listen to it a couple of times. I don't like. I wasn't a huge fan. I don't know if I wasn't a huge fan, or maybe I just didn't really pay them too much attention when they first came out. Like I would hear their songs and be like, "Oh, they're good," but like sitting here listening to this album, like or EP, I really like them, and I think I'll become a fan. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's really all I had to say. I think it was a good, solid EP, and I can't wait to hear more. I agree with you that while the music video was well produced, it was very artsy to me. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was artsy to me. I liked it. Um, so moving on to our next group, Rolling Quartz. They debuted on the 30th of December of last year with their song Blaze. What did you think, Melissa?
Um, I thought it was a good song. I mean, it was fine. I think I was more interested in the fact that they were an all girls, or I don't know if it was all girls or all women K rock group, because this is my first time seeing that. And so, although I wasn't, I mean, honestly, wasn't really a huge fan of the song. Maybe I need to hear it again. I don't know, but I'm more excited to see what they're gonna do in the future than I am about the song that I just heard from them. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see what more they're going to do. They're all talented, and they're all they look to me like girls from like that would be in a girl group, but they're not. They're like, rockers. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's all I had to say about them.
Kind of like you, I was kind of shocked to see that there was like an all girl K rock band that looked the way they did, but but they're rockers. So
Exactly.
because I feel like if you just see a picture of them, if they were just like standing together, like posing or something, I would never think that they were going to be a rock band. Maybe with like a little bit of rock influence in their music, but not like
Mm-hmm.
playing instruments, full on band kind of thing. Because as long as I've been in K-pop, I haven't seen an all girl rock band, which kind of gives them a little edge. There
Mm-hmm.
might be some out there. It's just that I haven't come across any, and so when I came across them, I was like, oh wow. I like this song. I really like the intro, and then there was like this little break in it. I think it was like a guitar solo type break in it, and I thought that was cool. And yeah, I'm very interested to see what they are going to come out with in the future. I think they were formed in like 2019, and they were doing a little bit of stuff, but like their official debut was the 30th of last month. So yeah, I was gonna say last year. I don't know why I was gonna do that, but anywho,
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, so I thought Blaze was good. I think it gave a good introduction to who the group is and what they do and what they're going to come out with in the future. So I really like that. So the last artist that we're going to talk about is Alexa with her song Never Let You Go. I like this song personally. I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to her having like hype music, kind of, dance, high energy. And so this seemed to show like a softer side of her, and it really showed like her vocals, because sometimes in like the really poppy high energy songs, it's like they're kind of drowned out by all the instrumentals and everything. So it's always nice to hear them in a like nice ballad song. And I was also shocked that she came out with it, but I guess you got to be versatile out here in this industry. So yeah, that's all
Mm-hmm.
I have to say about it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought the first thing I thought was like was that her voice sounds really nice in like these slow songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree with the high energy songs, I could never really hear her voice, I guess. Um so I don't know, and I thought the music video was really pretty. And from what I remember, it was kind of simple, like in terms of like how it was filmed. But I remember it being just really beautiful, and having the focus was really just like on her and her voice and the song. So yeah, it was different. It was definitely different, and it was a good different. So Amber, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yes. Before I forgot to mention this earlier when we were talking about G Idol. I Burned, but I thought it was pretty cool that they opened up with a slower song. I mean, it was like slow. I don't know. It just gave me like intro vibes, but like slow intro vibes to an album. Because most of the time you hear when K-pop artists come out with something, it's usually like a hype song. It's the first song, and they might close out with the slow song. So it was really interesting to see it kind of flipped a little bit. So I thought I really liked that.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was wondering if it was sort of like an accompaniment to the Han Alone that they came out with a couple years ago, so I don't know. All right. Well, actually, there was one last thing that I guess I wanted to say, but I didn't really, but it's not really. I mean, it's related to something that we talked about, but not really. But earlier, um we were talking about GOT7.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I saw, I think it was today I saw it, that JB opened a new Twitter account, and I just thought it was hilarious because immediately after he opened it, Bam Bam started commenting on his Twitter page, and like JB like wasn't responding, and so so Bam Bam kept like commenting on his page, getting him to respond. And I don't know, I just thought that moment was like really cute because it's like, okay, even though they're like broken up, technically they're still, it seems like we're still gonna be able to have those moments of them like interacting with one another. And so I just thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I saw earlier today. But anyways, yeah, so okay, so do we have any final thoughts?
I just wanted to comment. I really thought that was funny too, Melissa. I feel like sometimes when people leave their companies or I I never know if they're being honest or not, or if they're just saying that to make the fans feel okay. But to see that kind of interaction, even after everything came out, I thought it was really cute and funny. And I was just thinking, like, that's something Bam Bam would do. So, so okay, that's like my final thought. And I'm not going to say anything else. Go ahead, Melissa.
All right. Well, we have finally come to the end of today's episode. Um, please let us know what you thought about some of the topics we discussed. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at @the_am podcast. The links are in the description. And if you like this episode and you want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast. Stay safe. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.